GM friends. We'll wait just a couple minutes longer for people to join. Sorry about the confusion this morning. That is my fault. This is one that we had initially scheduled as like a AMA on stage, and then I was thinking general voice would be better for this. And I took it off the event calendar. I think this can be more of just a casual, let's learn about the track app, and if we like it, community members can test it out. A smaller group of community members can test it out, and then if we really like it, then we can consider recommending it to the broader community. All right, looks like we're getting a good turnout here, so why don't we go ahead and get the party started. Who do we have here today from the TrackApp team? So we got Ms. Vatan.
Hey, can we shut off Lo-Fi real fast? Sorry, thank you.
Yes. Bye, Lo-Fi. All right. Jim, Ms. Vatan.
Hi there.
Hey, how are you? Thanks for joining us, by the way.
Inviting us, it's a pleasure.
Ms. Vatan, are you repping the TrackApp team today? Is there anyone else from TrackApp?
Yes, I have two folks from my team here, that guy and Dharma. But I will be presenting a little bit about the TrackApp today.
Awesome. Great to meet you guys. Thanks for joining us. Why don't we start by just you guys giving us a quick overview of what the TrackApp is and why we should be interested.
Sounds good.
Now recording.
Is it okay if I share my screen?
Yeah, absolutely. Feel free to share your screen for sure.
Brilliant. Okay. Is my screen visible?
Yes, I can see your screen.
Okay, brilliant. So we've done a really tiny presentation for the community today, and we're hoping to, quick agenda of the call, we're hoping to kind of get your thoughts on this. It's been about a week since we really went live, and we've got like an overwhelming response, but any feedback from the community is extremely helpful. So just going to take 10 minutes to talk about Track and show you a little bit inside the product. And post that, we're going to open the floor for any questions, feedback, opinions. Awesome. So
Sounds awesome. Thank you.
yes. So to start off with, you're in a Shakespeare play. They're going to be 4 acts. Now, why Shakespeare? Because if Shakespeare would have been alive today, he would probably have faced suits for plagiarism. And it's always extremely hard to be original. That's a little bit of how our journey has been so far. When you're the first to do things, there's always skepticism. It's chaotic. So we said, hey, why not take you through a Shakespeare play altogether, right? So you have 4 acts. Let's begin with the Act 1. The reason. This is probably why you need TrackApp, right? Why do we exist? Well, we exist because we want to make everyone super efficient in DAOs. It's not only a community-friendly calendar, it hopes to be a gorgeous one. So we put in extreme thought in design, in how easy is it for you to navigate with just a keyboard. You wouldn't really need to use your mouse. And you'll see that in just a bit, right? And why should you really care? Because when we were researching about DAO events, I've been in the DAO space for some time. I'm sorry, a little bit about myself while we are at it. I have been in the Web3 space for the last 3 years. I currently work with a bunch of Web3 projects, Polygon, DAO Lens, Decentralized Calendar, on Juno, which is now Juno Finance. So I've been in the space for some time now, and I remember seeing this meme in one of the Discord servers. And I said, hey, this is interesting, right? So if your calendar does not really catch up with the Web3 interface, it does not reflect your day's hard work, or it does not sync with your DAO lifestyle, which is being borderless, time zones, being open, being accessible, then are you really DAOing it right? Is this truly decentralized, right? So meet the DAO Cals. This is our Act 2. We're going to show you different people that you've typically seen around, and you may resonate with one of these people, right? If you are somebody who works with more than one DAO, currently you're probably going into every Discord server, finding the events, adding them to your calendar, and doing this every week because, well, like, every week the events get refreshed. It's extremely painful. So we've created, like, we jump into and like actually show you, we've actually created a product where you could select your favorite DAOs, and then say, hey, I'm not going to attend all these events, like, no way. Even if you give me a public calendar, you're going to crowd it. So I'm just going to say community, and I'm going to say, hey, yeah, this sounds good. I'm going to add it to my calendar. And now I have Shapeshift's community calls on my calendar. And I can see them along with my other DAOs that I'm a part of, or other meetings that I'm a part of. So yeah, there you go, right? So you kind of now have the events and the DAOs that you specifically want. Let's move on. There are people who care about good Web3 UI. I think we've always been taught in Web3 is that you either have to have a steep learning curve because the UI is not extremely first time friendly. But we said no. If you're building one, we're going to build it with absolute high standards for UI. So I'm going to show you a Calendly, but one that respects the attendees' time by allowing them to match their calendar with yours. We're not going to throw calendars on your face and be like, pick a slot. We're going to be like, hey, why don't you match your calendar and see what slots overlap, right? That's more respectful. Also, the Web3 UI that we kind of got in. I can show you mine. So just going to go in over here. Yeah, this is mine. So you could just like match with your calendar and pick a slot that works best for you.
So for the matching with calendar, Ms. Vitan, that's pretty cool. Does the other user need to be using the Track app as well in order to match their calendar?
Not necessarily. You could also match it with your Google Calendar.
Awesome. Let me see. Do you mind showing us what that looks like real quick while we're in there?
Yes. Trying to make a second. Okay, so it won't show it for me because it's like literally my calendar, so it won't let me do it. But what I could do is I could share my one-on-one link and you could try it. Does that sound does that sound good?
Yeah, that's a great idea. Can you post it in the stage chat at the very top of the menu of channels? Thank you so much.
So I'm going to copy my link.
All right, and if anyone wants to book some time with Ms. Vitan.
Yes. Can you help
test
me
it.
find chat box?
Yes, just scroll. I think it's behind that.
Yeah, you can
use
click and drag that. See how you have that box right there? You can click and drag that to the side. Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Cool. Now just scroll all the way up in the menu, and you'll see it at the very top. On the left sidebar menu.
Left sidebar.
Yep, right there. So just scroll all the way up to the top.
Okay.
And then there it is right there. Stage chat. ShapeShift DAO. With the
ShapeShift DAO.
tag. Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for being patient. Love it.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'll just move on. Yes, that's the DAO page. You can also have community votes. So this is like, I could show you how it works, but I have one open, so I'm going to show you. Like, I created slots from 1:30 to 4:30 p.m. in 30-minute intervals, and you could literally vote on it. I can share this link, and people could be like, "Hey, 2 p.m. works best for me, or 3 p.m. works best for me in their time zone." So you could do all sorts of group availability. And you can, again, to check for conflicting slots, you can check with your calendar before you vote, right in the same panel without having to go back and forth. We have a feature for time zones. This is actually one of my favorites. So it's a very simple thing. I go to my calendar view and I literally just press T on my keyboard, just T. and this is what opens up. And I can add as many time zones as I want. And I can real time compare it while I'm booking time. So this has kind of helped me a lot in my bookings, I guess. So we're almost towards the end, but what's in it for the admin? This helps the community at large, but how can the admin really use this? One, it really helps the ecosystem find your DAO and join events. While Sesh is kind of building a calendar for the community, we are essentially trying to build a calendar for the ecosystem. And it's the ecosystem that we're very bullish on. So you can list your events and the community can discover you and join. Second, you can decide who can vote on calendar polls. This is a feature that we're building at the moment, where based on the roles, you can say like, hey, I only want core contributors to be selecting this meeting. So this is the role that I would prefer. And third is you have integrations with Google Calendar and Outlook practically all the time. So you could import from your Google Calendar to track, and you can import it from multiple Google Calendars. So it's like if you have a work email and a personal email and a DAO email, you can have all three of them integrated on track, and all the three calendar events will show on one master calendar, right? Okay, here's the important question: pricing. We want to be upfront about it. Everything that you've seen right now, the Calendly, the event listing, the community voting, time zone, it's $0 because we really want the ecosystem to have more visibility on events. It's our main focus, but we are building assistant features. These are features that are essentially in the pipeline. This involves your personalized Discord bot, additional filters, admin dashboard, sentiment analysis. Well, you could go through the list, hope distributions. All of these will eventually be paid features if you on top of the free features, right? That's something we're very clear about at the moment. We're Act 3. Well, it has been a road not taken for us. When we started listing DAOs, some of the DAOs or servers didn't even have an events channel or a public calendar. We have to figure ways out to manually pull them out from Sesh or to manually pull them out from the events tab on top of Discord. So it has been quite a manual journey for us. And in the process, we've learned to become smarter with pulling events, but we're taking up new challenges. A lot of people have kind of requested for the next big feature that honestly I'm excited about is voting deadlines on Snapshot. For example, ShapeShift has this proposal, which is additional allocation of Fox tokens to the PMC. And it says 2 days left. Who's going to remind me that I need to vote on it? And this is the core feature of any governance, voting. And we want to build visibility where you can add this as one of your filters and say, I want to stay updated with voting deadlines. And we'll add it to your calendar. We'll make sure you're up to date with that. So that's our next big feature, which we're very excited about. We're slowly building Discord bots, very basic bots for notification, time clashes, polls. And the last one being one-click event sync, which is the moment you log in with your Discord, it detects that there are these DAOs on your left panel, and it says, hey, do you want me to pull events or do you want to select DAOs? So it's practically super easy to sync events. And here's my favorite time, which is hearing what you have to say. Hopefully, this is how we get to the mood, right? Hearing your feedback, improving every single day. We're excited to hear your thoughts. Yes. Over to you guys now.
Thanks for the great presentation and demo, Ms. Patan. I've got a couple questions, but yeah, let's just open it up for feedback. I'll start. I'm very impressed. I was, when I first heard that there was interest in doing like an AMA with the Track app, I checked out the website and I saw that it was like a directory of DAO events, and I thought that was cool, but I did not understand that you guys offered so much more. So it was really cool to see all the features. I really like the Calendly functionality, and I like the idea for calendar polls as well. I got some questions, but I'll hold those for now and just open it up if anyone else wants to share any feedback. I will add, I think I'm happy to, I currently use Calendly, so I'm happy to, I pay for Calendly as well. So I'm happy to kind of pause my subscription and try the Track app out.
Amazing. Sounds good.
Yeah, I can't echo that anymore. I definitely have super positive feedback about this demo. I'll be testing it as well with Willie. Definitely appreciate the presentation, and I definitely I hope that everybody that has questions ask them now, or if anybody has any curiosities, GK, Ron, or anybody that's here that's like regularly attending like every meeting, basically.
Thank you. Thank you for those kind words.
All right, let's move to questions, and if anyone has feedback at any point, we can keep sharing the feedback. I'm really curious to hear while we have you guys here. How do you recommend that like a DAO like ShapeShift adopts the track app? What do you think would be like your ideal and just your recommendation for how we can really adopt the track app and have the best calendar experience for our community?
Perfect. So I'm going to answer this question in 3 parts, right? The best way would be in one, how would it be best for the community? One is if you could title, so how do we filter these events, right? So if you just go to this website over here, which is the Track App, you would notice that, let me actually pull that out. So you'll notice that we've segregated events. We do this through natural language processing. So if your titles have community, we automatically detect that it has to do something with community. So the first hygiene would really be to name your events right. And the natural language processing will get smarter and will be able to detect this better. That's my point number one for the community to discover. The second thing would be, I would say the admins need to start using it first. And if you feel extremely comfortable, then you can start having your community polls here, which is completely free. You can see how integratable they are. Is it easily integratable with Outlooks or Google Calendars? Because everyone has a different preference. But I would say like start with a smaller group, make sure that it's functioning, the admins are completely convinced, and then the community can slowly transition to it. It is absolutely not mandatory to have a track app. That's the beauty of the track calendar. We're not forcing it down people. We're keeping a good user experience optional, saying that if you want, you can use the track app. Otherwise, it is still extremely friendly for people who want to stick to their Google calendars, right? Um, and the third thing would be, um, yeah, kind of, you know, help us get the word out there so that, we can have more and more people discover Shapeshift. So the moment this app gets traction, all the events, all the DAOs listed here would also get traction. So that would be very interesting. You already have a public calendar, which is amazing because the moment you update your public calendar, the events get updated over here. So if you change your time, you change any event, it all is synced over here. So you don't have to change anything on that front.
That's awesome. So do you think it makes sense? Like I don't know if you've seen our current kind of calendar setup and how we have the event calendar channel in Discord, but would be very curious. Like, do you think we should continue with that, or do you think that we could improve the experience by implementing the track app?
I think instead of like a lot of, so one of the things with events on Discord is that every time there is one, I get lost. It's just a personal thing. I don't know if others feel the same way. So having one link where you could redirect people to all Shapeshift events and they can literally filter based on their event types is definitely better. Because everyone's involved in different capacities. In fact, if they want, they can go ahead and add all of them as well. But one link where everybody can just subscribe and they never have to come back to your events channel on Discord is just an amazing world to be in, right?
Yeah, before you mentioned the word subscribe, I was thinking to myself, it would be cool to be able to track subscriptions in some ways. I don't know if you guys do any sort of tracking for like admins, if you have like a certain number of people, subscribe basically, if there's any way that that's possible, just to be able to look at growth numbers and see how many people are actually using it and stuff like that.
Yes. So we have aggregate level information. We don't track cookies or don't have like individual user level information, but you definitely know how many users from the track app have added Shapeshift to their calendar. Right? That's like a high level number is something you would definitely get week on week, month on month.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. Thank you.
So just to clarify, so we're talking about how right now we use Sesh, which I know you guys are familiar with, to enable community members just to subscribe to all the calendar events and add them to the Google Calendar.
Right.
Are there any benefits of using, it sounds like we could either use Sesh for that, or we could use the Track app. Are there any benefits of if we use the Track app as the primary way that community members subscribe to the DAO's calendar?
Yes. So two benefits that I personally see is one, this filter. Like on Sesh, I don't get an option to filter. Like I just want to attend community events, right? So personalization would be one benefit. The second is I'm not sure if you are on the paid version of Sesh, but this is all practically free, and we will not charge it. Like at least these features will not be charged in the near future. So um, yeah, you could save some money if you're on the paid version of Sesh, or if not, yeah.
Yeah, I think we are on the paid version of Sesh. So that's a great benefit. It sounds like our mods are saying that it'd be easier to put all the DAO calendars on a website. One benefit with Sesh is that it auto adds events to Discord. Is that something that you guys have or that you're working on?
Yes. So Discord bot. So we don't want to crowd Discord. We're very clear about the vision that we don't want to make Discord, which is already noisy, even more noisy, right? We rather make your calendar more focused, which is why we give you filters. But we have received requests for reminders and event clashes. And that's why we're building a Discord bot after we finish the snapshot.
Cool. Awesome to see you guys are already thinking about this. I want to talk more about these calendar polls, if that's okay, switching subjects a bit. I'm curious kind of what you mentioned that you could like only allow certain roles or certain addresses to vote. Is there any kind of like token gating? I'm just curious to learn more about kind of what the options are for gating the voting, and also just how the votes are calculated. If there's any room for
Yeah.
gaming, that's been a topic of discussion recently.
Got it. So that's interesting. We don't have token gating at the moment, but let me just show you. Like, I would just on my keyboard type GA, and over here it says group availability. Now you see here we say add teammates. What we're kind of building right now, which we're kind of thinking if we should go on those lines, is adding roles where once you log in with your Discord, all the roles from your server would automatically come up here, and you could tick box what roles you want to allow for group voting. And once you select that and you select a time slot, and you say next, you could literally set it up and say like group voting for core contributors.
Yeah, I was thinking that a role-based accessibility would be good in a number of ways, probably for our DAO. A number of work streams and different projects have their own calendars realistically, so it'd be a lot easier for people to navigate, and I guess it would create a little bit more of an algebra, or a lot more of an algebra for moderation and any admins that are doing the actual calendar, updating it first, but
Exactly.
yeah, it would
Yeah,
definitely
and
be
when we
good.
have that's a great suggestion, Hun. When they have the Discord linking functionality, we have roles in our Discord already for all like the workstream contributors. So it would be
Right.
great if we could just like tap into the Discord roles and instead of typing each email each time, just saying this role has the ability to vote. And then if they could get pinged in Discord, like everyone who has that role, get a DM that says, "Hey, come vote on a time for this meeting." That would be super killer. That's definitely thing that happens all the time in the DAO. I was just doing that this morning and saying, "Hey, does this work for you guys?" And we can't, compared to a centralized organization where everyone has the same email domain and can see everyone's calendar. We
Right.
don't. That's one of the things that we've lost at the DAO. So this is a super cool feature that I'm excited to test out.
Yeah, it's always a painful process, trying to land on a day at a time.
Absolutely. So this is something we are already thought about, and we also are very excited to add it over here. So instead of teammates, you could say either email ID, or you'd have an option to add roles. The only thing with roles is you'd have to log in with your Discord so that we can detect which roles are in that Discord, right? So That's the only thing. But yeah.
That's perfect.
So yeah, you could and you could go next, and you could say until somebody decides. You could say yet to decide, and say, okay, and it automatically gives you a message that you could copy paste saying, do any of these time work for you for a quick 30 minutes call? Let me know. And you can say okay, and you have your link ready, and you can literally share this link and people can vote what works best for them.
That's so awesome. Yeah, I totally didn't realize a lot of these features as well, Willie, to be completely honest, but yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to test this out. Sounds like Hunt and I at least are willing to test this. Ron and Gray Machine, are you guys open to testing this? Or no pressure, of course, but just curious if you're motivated from what you've seen so far.
Yeah, I totally test it out.
Ron might be messed up on his mic while he
Oh, yeah.
possibly.
He's multitasking.
Yeah, I think I called on him earlier too. He's probably sitting there shaking his head.
Well, thank you guys for joining us today. I think this has been super productive, and thank you guys for being flexible. I know we had initially planned on doing this like on the stage and announcing it. I wanted to just make sure before we do that we had a smaller group kind of check it out and test it and verify that this is something that we do want to adopt and recommend to the community. But I think you guys have done a great job at basically getting through the first hurdle and getting a handful of community members excited about testing this out. We'll do that, and we'll let you guys know if we have any feedback. And then hopefully, I really like what you guys have built and the roadmap that you have planned. So far, everything's looking good. And yeah, appreciate you guys taking the time to join us and walk us through everything you've built and being open to feedback on what the community would like to see.
Did we create a thread for TrackApp? Or it might have just kept it in DM. I can't really recall, GK.
Not yet.
You did? Cool. Yeah, we have something rocking, so people can jump in.
I'll do that in a little bit here. I had a question though about the sesh calendar. Wasn't it that you were connecting to for your updates?
We don't really connect with Sesh at the moment. We are pulling all the events from the public calendar that ShapeShift has.
What's the public calendar?
Like the Google Cal for Sesh, basically each Sesh link, I think, for each individual role that you have, GK, so it might be a little bit of an algebra, I think.
Yeah, so ShapeShift has, I was going through ShapeShift's Discord, and ShapeShift has like a public Google Calendar, which you could literally just subscribe. Let me try and pull that out.
Yeah, so basically we just pull all that data via those Google Cal links, GK, but we have like multiples of them. That's why that role thing was so interesting to me. We can sort of like gate or separate some of the calls and meetings, you know, like engineering or leadership or LATAM or whatever. So it opens up a lot of possibilities.
Yeah, I was just curious what actually they're using for the connection, because I don't know another public one other than Sesh that we're using.
Yes, sorry, my bad. It's the Sesh one. I just went to the database, and there is a Sesh public calendar, and that's where we pull the events from.
Oh, I updated. It was like, wait. Awesome. Thanks.
Got it. Thank you. Thanks for pointing that out.
Heck yeah, it sounds like GK is down to test too. So sounds like we have quite a few testers that are ready to rock and roll.
Yeah, I'm already on it, so you know.
Amazing. Can't wait to hear all the feedback and ways to improve. Amazing.
Awesome.
Thank you so much for your time. Thanks for running this, Willie. Big time.
A pleasure. Thanks for coordinating it all. And thank you, Ms. Baton, again for joining.
Thank you.
All right. Any final questions or thoughts from the community about the Track app while we have the team here?
Where